Hello?
Hello.
Is this
Man,
thing on?
I know my computer is acting weird over here, and I just rebooted it earlier tonight.
So, funny thing that you say that because I plugged mine in, went and did something, and then came back and it was making the weirdest noise. And I honestly thought, I'm like, is it the AC making that noise? It was my laptop. Oh, Joanne, look at her, bright and early. She didn't go to bed today.
I thought she went to bed every day.
I mean, at this time,
Oh, I thought she went to
right?
bed early and then she gets up for us. When I learned that, it had made
What?
me feel different about making sure to start on time. I'm usually the one who always starts on time anyway. I usually have to wait for Sandy and Joe, but I
Uh,
was like, oh, I
I
feel like I
don't
need
think
to
so, but I'll let you go ahead
really.
and run with that. Yeah, okay. Okay, sure.
I'm actually sharing up the show to some friends. I want to
Oh,
see if
are
any of
you?
my comic book
I
friends show up again.
I sent it to Anita. That's usually who can never find us on YouTube. But it's so weird because it keeps saying season 8. I mean, not season 8.
I didn't change the
I don't.
number. I just realized that.
Okay, so that's probably the right one that I'm sending her then.
It probably is. Yeah. I
Okay,
didn't change the season or episode number, but everything else I updated.
gotcha. Well, hey, Joanne, how are you doing? Joanne, what did you make the other day that I thought,
She made some biscuits or
man, I
roll.
wish I wasn't gluten free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I think
remember
that's what
I
it
was all
was.
like, she did mayo on it, and I was all like, egg
That's right.
wash. And she was like, I've never needed it before, but she was like, I guess I could try it. Or so, at least that's what I took as. She might have been like, no, man, don't tell me what to do. Forget you.
She's probably like,
I make my
Jamie,
own
please.
biscuits.
She's like, I've been on this earth longer than you,
Yeah. No, man, you that's
baking.
forget you. If I needed help, God would have told you
So,
to make a cooking book for me to read.
so on Friday, we're going to. I think I told y'all last year. We our company Delmar sponsored the Horses for Heroes, and so that's coming up again.
What is this? I don't remember this last year, Sandy.
You don't remember this last year
No.
that I almost came home with the horse?
No, because I feel like I would have connected with this because of my daughter.
Yeah. So this Heroes for Horses, yeah, Heroes for Horses. I thought I said that wrong. Anyway, so I think they basically like go get horses out of terrible situations and they look for foster parents. And so you foster horses. And Eric's like,
Really?
Sandy, this is going to be pretty dangerous for us going this year. Hey,
Oh,
Anita,
because
you made it.
hey, I need that. Yeah, because you're just getting packed in.
Yes. And he's like, oh, he's like, please don't raise your hand for any reason. So
You're
anyway,
like, I hear you.
I can't
I hear
promise.
you.
Listen, I'm listening. I know exactly
Yes.
what you're saying.
Yes. It makes sense. I get it. I get it.
Yes.
That's all I can tell you is
But
I
I
get.
cannot guarantee,
You're like, if
especially
it
if it's
looks
like a sad story.
beautiful.
If it's one of those, listen, if it's a Clydesdale, it's over.
Look,
We're
let me tell. Oh, so we live up here, right? And like Budweiser's just down the road. Springfield
uh,
or wait, Springfield or St. Louis? I always get them mixed up.
they
St. Louis,
are.
right? I think it's St. Louis. So in St. Louis, that's where the Budweiser is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so they're like massively taken care of. Like they're like kings. They're treated
Yeah.
just the way that uh Texas treats football. That's
Oh,
how
I'm
like that.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Yes.
their, yeah. So I would absolutely, if it was, how did I, oh, Clydesdale. I'm like, what?
Clydesdale.
What am I saying? I was gonna say Appaloosa, but I think that's like a regular basic one. If it's a Clydesdale, it's over for Eric. But anyway, Anita, welcome to the show. Anita still has never gotten back on Facebook. Her Facebook, if you remember, she was
Oh,
hijacked, and that lady is still selling Taylor
Anita,
Swift tickets in
you,
Canada.
you just need to either make yourself a new one, to be honest.
She doesn't
I'm
want
so
to. I
sorry.
think
I
she
know.
was
And if
so
you don't, that makes
upsetting.
sense. You don't need to. You do not need to. I'm just saying, if you're, I want to be hopeful, but I'm going to be honest. It's just Facebook accounts are never are. I've never seen one recovered. That's what I'm saying. I just have never seen them recovered.
So speaking, I want to talk about a very important topic right now while we're
Um,
talking about like scams
and
and
while we
stuff.
do that, I'm gonna my computer's going off over here. My work computer. I'm gonna open it and turn the volume down. So I'm so sorry.
Okay, no
Keep on.
worries.
I'm listening.
So, here in the last week or two, there has been an uptick in sextortion.
What?
And I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. And
No.
it's happening to our children. This is to anywhere from 11 is probably the youngest that I've heard,
Mm-hmm.
to our teenagers, our very impressionable teenagers.
What is going on?
Anyway, so here's what they do. They have these kids send them nudes. Okay? These people that are
Give me a
pretending to
second. Give
be
me a
their
second.
age.
Second.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these people pretend that they're their age. They say, send me a nude. And our children, even though we've talked to our children until we're blue in the face about predators, they send these pictures. So then you know what happens is they say, hey, I have a list of all of your friends that I'm going to send these nudes to
Mm-hmm.
unless you send me money. So there was a case last year where this happened to a young boy,
Okay. Okay.
and the young boy unalived himself. And so here's the deal. Please, parents, talk to your kids about this, because we had this very same discussion with Cade. We're like, there is nothing that you can do when it comes, if okay, one, don't ever send pictures of yourself. Okay, I mean that's just the way it is. And two, if something like this happens to you, you have to come tell us.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're going to be upset about it, no doubt, but we're also not going to disown you. We're not going to love you any less.
Yeah.
All of the, things that come with that. Hi, Sylvia Jennings. How are you, lady?
So, yeah.
So anyway, it
Yeah. No
just,
matter how bad it is, no matter how angry we get, like we're still going to be the ones that number one priority is to protect you and keep you
yes.
safe. So
So I saw one where the dad called the police because this happened to his 11-year-old daughter. The police didn't show up until like 6 hours later. I'm not sure where this was located. The police officer told the dad, yeah, well, she's going to get in trouble because she's producing child porn.
mhm,
And the dad's like, you know what? Get out of here. Get out. So he basically just told the police to leave, because that's not, and it's not. It's a very incorrect statement. Because she was a woman, I would have felt like she would have been more sympathetic, but she
mhm.
wasn't. So
And
anyway, go ahead.
uh, um and there are those moments, and I struggle with this often, is the aspect that, like,
Uh-oh.
it's true, it's right, she's correct, but it's kind of like where that read the room, man. Like, is that really the focus that needs to be right here?
Well, the thing about it is, luckily, this little girl didn't hear. It was midnight by the time they showed up, and they're banging on this man's door. Um, and thank God that the dad was a good advocate for his daughter. He didn't wake her up. He's like, she's asleep. You probably need to talk to her. And when she said that stupid remark, he was like, just leave.
Yeah.
Just leave. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So
I think
anyway,
it's so
just talk to
sad.
your
Like,
kids.
yeah. And this is loaded too, Sandy, because I used to teach a class. So they used to ask us to go out into the community and teach about this. The program that I was a part of was called Project Oz up here. And there was a sub division of it. I cannot recall that name right now. But either way, we were tasked with going into the community, like the Boys and Girls Club, going to schools, library, where parents were at, right? So I went to a few of these actually, and would host kind of like a forum, and we tell people about the dangers of the internet and how to protect them. Now, granted, everyone, this is a large topic. And so, you only got X amount of time, you only have X amount of topics. There's so much involved. And as an IT professional myself, like, I could speak for weeks on this topic if you
Right,
let me.
right.
So, you pick what you can, you do what you can, you open up yourself afterwards so that parents and guardians can come up to you and ask you questions. And everything you're saying is absolutely correct. There's this part, and this is where my uh, my ugly self comes out at times, right? Because I've heard parents and guardians tell me, the technology's too advanced, and I don't know how to control it. I don't know how to do all this stuff. And there was a time where in my head where I would just be like, yeah, it's fine and dandy, but your excuses do not stop predators.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't stop
Yeah.
stupidity or ignorance. Say
No,
whichever you
it sure
want.
doesn't.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, my goodness, it is so sad, Sandy. Like everything you said, like I could go on tangents left and right everywhere
No,
from a tech
totally. I just wanted
perspective.
to,
From a tech
because like I said,
perspective.
I just wanted to bring awareness to that because I don't want to bring down the show, but it's a
No, no, no.
topic
I
that's
think it's a great
happening.
topic. I don't
Um,
like
and I
yeah.
just feel bad for the parents and children, kids that are having to go through this because we did some dumb shit. You know we did. Let me address this real quick. Joanne, Joe was busy tonight. We're not really sure what happened.
I don't
He
know
just said he
either.
wasn't going to be able to make it. So
He was like,
anyway, um, what was I saying?
you said we did some dumb stuff when we were
We did lots of dumb stuff, and I'm so grateful that there was not camera um, readily available, that there wasn't Snapchat and everything else. Because I mean, we could have been any of these kids that I got my first computer that I had access to at home. I was 16 years old, and I was doing dumb stuff then. So you
Mhm,
can't
mhm.
imagine. Cannot
And
imagine.
and there's some aspect to this that where it's not just the children. So let me rephrase that. So like I can say like my daughter, for example, she has gotten into some knee jerk, I won't say questionable, just kind of response from me. And
Hmm.
then like I remember when I was like, no TikTok. And then she slid by and she was doing TikTok, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
red. I was angry and everything. And
Hmm.
so, the kids don't get it, right? So like as a parent I'm not saying anything bad on anyone else. As a parent who's technologically aware, I understand what my task is now. So for me, I'm like, oh my God, I have to sift through every single post, like, message that happened on there. And
Hmm.
that took hours, Sandy. I was
Hmm.
scrolling and clicking, delete, scrolling, click. And so one of the
How about the
revelations,
weakest link?
oh, um, but what it did reveal too, though, so even though my daughter disobeyed me and I was furious and angry with her, when I looked through her messages, there was this heartbreaking side to it too, and not in a sad way, in a very uplifting way. Like
Hmm.
she
Hmm.
was posting stuff on people's accounts that was encouraging. Like she was saying, "You dance so good. Oh, your hair looks so nice." It
She's
was
being complimentary.
She
She
was
wasn't
so
being a mean girl
complimentary.
or a
Yeah,
bully.
other girls were being, or other messages came across mean, ugly, and all this other stuff. She was like, "Don't listen to them. You're very, I wanted to say smile, happy or
You're
pretty
very
or
smiley.
yeah. She was saying things like that. She was like, "Don't listen to people. They're just going to be haters, but you dance great," or, you told a funny joke, or, whatever the
Yeah,
stuff
whatever
was.
it was.
I was like, and I had to I told my wife, I was like, "Dr. Brown," I was like, "Yeah, she got on TikTok." I was like, "But to be honest with you, all her comments," and I went through every single one. I was like,
Hmm.
everyone that she commented on was just the sweetest.
Well,
So,
that's good.
so I
Yeah.
was like, and I remember another one is this Roblox, right? So it's like
Hmm.
it doesn't matter. It's a game. It's like it's a sandbox with
It's
lots of
like a
games.
building game, right?
Well, yes, but people can build their own games in it. So you would go
Hmm.
into Roblox. It's like going into a mall, and then you have different stores. You would go into Roblox, and then you have different doors that'll get you into different games. Kids love
Hmm.
it. It's good. It's fun. But I remember the first time my daughter came to me Eden, she came crying and bawling her out, and I was like, "What the heck?" I was pissed. I didn't even know why I was pissed yet. Sandy just was like, "What happened, baby? What is going on?" And she got it out. She's like, "They stole her digital stuff. I don't even remember what it was, but she had collected. Someone wanted to trade with her, so she gave it to them, and then they blocked her, and she was devastated. And I was like, I was so hard to not be like, I've told you never to trade with anyone. I've told you never to talk to anyone or give anything.
Yeah.
But she was my friend, Dad, and I was all like, there's no such thing as
But
friends
can't,
online. Okay,
but can't like people log in and chat, and like adults have been chatting with children
yeah.
on this as well? Okay.
Sandy, if I got horror stories there, and I'm not going to go down there, but I'm just saying, yes, and I have seen it. So doing that program that I did, you do see a lot of stuff and hear a lot of stuff, and parents would bring their phones, tablets, and their kid, and I would just have to be like, dear God, stop all not like cut your phone off immediately. This person knows where you live. They know where your
Oh,
daughter
that's awful.
and your son go to school. And Sandy,
That's so scary. It really is. But
yeah,
anyway, talk to your children, monitor your children. There's a lot of junk going on
yes,
up in here.
good message. I think I'm never whatever against it. I think it's good to talk about these things, especially when parents who you got busy jobs, you're moving,
Yeah.
you're trying to buy a horse or not trying to buy a horse, so
Trying to avoid a horse at all costs.
the things that go
Okay,
on.
so
So
let me tell you this. So there's this Highland cow, and it's a miniature cow, and I'm like, Eric, they're the size of dogs. We can handle it, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
And
You're
he's
like,
like,
we've had multiple
Stan,
dogs. We could handle this one Highland cow.
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, honestly. Oh,
You're
hello,
gonna
Adrian Jones. How's
what
it
up?
going?
This is a cool guy. His comic book shop is 10 Forward Comics.
Oh, well, welcome, 10 Forward Comics.
Yeah. So 10, I think Jams is gonna show up in a little bit too. I think he's gonna be here in about 10 minutes or so. So stick around so I can show off my comic books to some comic lovers.
That way, and this will be Joanne's intermission to go get something to drink.
Yeah. She can go get a mail roll. What?
Actually, Joanne, did she go to the estate sale?
Oh, she did. She showed me the comics. Oddly enough, I had the ones that she sent me pictures of, and I was like, "That's kind of cool." But it was so
I mean,
sweet.
that was
Too.
really nice of her to do that. To
Yeah.
be sending you
So
pictures.
check this out, everyone. Last week, Joanne had sent me a message. She said that she had said that there was an estate sale down in Lubbock, and that they had comics, and so she sent me pictures of what they had because she was willing to go, go between for me and the estate. And so she sent me pictures of the comics, and they were some Superman comics, which I love me some Superman.
We love the Superman.
So I actually had them all though. I was looking through, and I have a program that I monitor my comics that I have collected or whatever, right? And I was going through, and some of them I don't even need to look because I just know. And I was like, I got those, so never mind. Actually, it was so weird. It was cool.
What kind of program is that? Because does that work for groceries? Because every time I go to the grocery store, I buy mustard. Do you want to know how many things of mustard are in my fridge?
Sandy, that is so weird. I fall into the same trap. Why? What is it about us? I don't know why I've got 6 bottles of mustard in my whatever.
I have 5 bottles of mustard.
What is it? Is it because it's so cheap? Because I find it's like $1 or something, and I'm just like, I think I need it.
I have no idea.
So
I'm like,
bizarre.
What do we use that much mustard for? I don't
know that I use that
salad
much
often enough.
I have hot dogs, and I'm a big fan of hot dogs.
And we don't have hot dogs often enough.
Pretzels, I love mustard.
But I guess
pretzel chips. I love to just put mustard
is?
on those and eat. What?
You know what it is?
Sandwiches.
We're 90s kids. Because one day, somebody's going to pull up next to us in a limo and ask if, pardon me,
Grey
do you have any Grey Poupon? Is Grey Poupon mustard?
We can't afford Grey Poupon, so we get the mustard.
We get mustard. Let's see. Adrian says, Me too. I also buy beer every time I go to the store. Adrian, look. Oh, same. Same, but that's no
What a
accident.
coinky.
What a coincidence. I mean, seriously. Like I will never question like my inventory when it comes to liquor or we're just gonna get it because
Yeah.
you know what?
They're
Because it's
like, do
gonna
we
be
have
drank.
this? They're like, what does it matter? We'll just take it. Okay, we'll just take it. Do we have this?
Oh, look, Joanne. Okay, Eric. I think Eric has done this. Joanne says use it. Uh, I don't know, Jamie. My computer's frozen.
Oh, it says use it to tenderize your meat. I use it that way. So I've never used it to tenderize the meat, but okay. There is this what do you want to say? What conspiracy or something like that? Where if they call it binders. So you could use mustard. Mustard is very popular. You put it on your ribs or whatever you're going to smoke, or basically if you need to throw some dry rub or seasoning onto any meat, you
Mhm.
put mustard all over that thing. Other people have used mayonnaise, regular just oil, butter, all these kinds of stuff that you can put
I've
on it.
seen the butter one.
Now the butter, so here's the thing. I stand behind butter because I use it every Christmas on my rib roast. And that thing is awesome. Okay. And I spare no expense when it comes to the butter to put on the rib roast. You get the good stuff, the Kerrygold or whatever else, right? The Irish butter. But
Not margarine.
not margarine. But when it comes to binders, and Eric will probably, he could go on this one probably. They say there's not really a difference between mustard, mayonnaise, some oils, when you put it on meat to smoke or cook on the grill or whatever. I don't care. It's a minimal thing. I'm like, as long as but I do believe whatever you can get to get the seasoning to stick on the meat is helpful.
I think Eric has done. I want to say that he did the mustard once, but
Uh-huh.
he also cakes it with salt.
Yes, so that's what I
Um,
did. Yep.
not like Morton salt,
The
like
rock
rock salt.
salt. Yeah, the
Yeah,
thick. And the reason for that is because you can't season the inside of a steak or a big chunk of meat
right.
basically. And so a lot of that salt ends up falling off anyway and getting in the sauce that the meat drips, and that the butter, if you're using butter,
Mhm.
melts into also. And it creates, man, my mouth is watering super heavy right
I
now.
know. I'm like all of a sudden hungry again. Should I go get some mustard
No, right.
with a straw?
I'll grab the pretzels.
Yeah.
um, and then so the meat inside, the salt doesn't get in there. So when you dip that into that au jus sauce, I am
Mm.
glad we're in the fall because yeah.
Okay, so do you ever do like a mini pre-Thanksgiving meal, like to help you prep for it?
No, give me
No, okay.
no. Where's
So
that
like
from? Maybe I need to.
we do like a pre-Thanksgiving meal just to
Tell
kind
me.
of put us in, we'll do everything, just a mini
Really?
little
So
Thanksgiving meal,
you
yeah.
say mini, or do you just mean technically like times two?
No, no, just a little mini one for us. Like we'll have the little chicken,
Oh,
the little turkey breast, and then just a
oh,
little bit of this and
you
a little
got the
bit of that.
little baby chicken.
Yeah, yeah, the little baby little baby turkey.
The
But
little
so
corn
there
hen.
was this food truck. It was Owen's food truck here in Lubbock.
Uh-huh.
Now this lady made the best turkey and dressing, and I'm telling you, like I wish she moved away,
Okay.
and I miss her so much.
Oh.
But I don't know. Now I'm in the mood for turkey and dressing, and it started just by talking about mustard. What the heck?
I'm telling you, that's why it was all like, what is going on here? Like, and I haven't eaten tonight, so
Why
I
haven't you
know that
eaten?
I was sleeping. Now I was laying down because I needed to rest. Right, it's hectic working all day and then doing a YouTube and
Uh-huh.
then having to come do another YouTube, and
Well,
so
for me, I have not gotten like any kind of good rest. Like I get home from work,
uh-huh,
I work on, well, just because we've been moving and cleaning our other house to get it ready for the renters, and then
right.
finally getting some time to come unpack here. So I've just been unpacking and trying to get everything put away. So I've not actually like just been able to come home and rest for a little bit.
I'm
I told
sorry.
Eric, I'm like, I don't even know what that feels like anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And so I remember a person told me once, they were like, yeah, a good move, or not a good move, any move, it usually takes a year to recuperate from, or to finish moving. One of the two. It makes
Listen,
sense. I'm
I
on year 3 or 4, and I'm still unpacking a box here and there. It's in the storage, so
oh no, like we're not doing storages anymore. We have from our last 3 moves,
uh-huh.
from our buying and selling homes, we've got
The
storage
remember, if
units.
y'all remember, Sandy was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna sell the house today. Let's just," and then she sold it.
I've said that like 2, 3 times already.
You can't
I'm
do it
not
this
gonna do that
stage.
anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do it. We're not doing it anymore. Joanne says, "Do you mean sea salt versus rock salt, Jamie? I make a pretty mean turkey and dressing, so I've been told, Sandy." Mm.
So sea salt versus rock salt, right? So sea salt is usually what I put on mine. Rock salt
It's
is
like
salty.
coarse. It's
And that's
whatever
what
it is,
salt is.
coarse sea salt. Yeah.
But rock salt,
Is
I
that
have
for
to
your
look at the
driveway
difference because I thought rock salt was what you put in the ice cream and the ice.
or your water softener?
That too.
Hmm.
Weird how salt softens water. I don't understand that. Because when you
Yeah.
put salt in the pot for pasta, it makes it salty water, and you throw your pasta in, and when it's done, your pasta is salty. It's
Oh, I didn't
salty.
know that.
You don't
I've never known that.
really? Yeah, yeah. So when you get here's a couple neat tricks, right? If you
Okay.
want your water to boil faster,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just any water, it has to be specific, like for pasta, for example. If you want your water to boil faster, when you add salt to it, it makes it boil faster. There's a chemical reaction in there that gets it to do that. When
Well,
you
hey, we're on propane now, and you know that shit be heating up fast.
It's good stuff, right? We're not on electricity up here. We have, I don't know if
You
it's
have natural
propane, but
gas?
it's gas. Yeah, yeah, there you go.
You
It's
probably have
natural.
natural gas.
Yeah, yeah. And so, um, what was I talking about?
I'm sorry. I've
It's
no
okay.
idea.
Anyway,
What were we talking about?
oh, pasta. So when you throw the
Oh, yes,
pasta
pasta.
in the salt water
Hmm.
and it's done, it tastes really good. You just don't, you just want to, that whole salt to taste. So you don't want to throw a whole bunch in there. You don't want to put too little, but just enough, and your pasta really tastes good.
Oh,
So
thank you. I'm gonna start doing that now because I don't think I've
it
ever
is a
flavored
game
my
changer,
noodles.
Sandy. Really, like it's really, and I always like my pasta al dente, so it's always that little. It's not crunchy, but it's hard.
See, and ooh, you know how
Well,
you're supposed to like it, like you're saying. See, and I like mine a lot, so not mushy,
mm-hmm.
but not al
Not al
dente
dente. Okay,
either.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't let the chefs and the Italians hear you say that because they'll be like,
Oh,
okay,
but
but
you know, Fidel's.
you know
Sandy,
what?
I found a lady that makes delicious tamales, and I thought about you. I'm gonna order me some more.
Why did she
Like
think about
how
you?
delicious. Well,
Mm,
you know why she thought about me?
uh,
Because I remember I did a review on the tamales here, and then so Joanne and I went and sampled them.
yes,
And
I
Joe,
remember
and
that,
remember, me
and
and Joanne were like
not
disgusting.
impressed at all.
No, and Joe was like, "Yeah, they're pretty good."
Psh, freaking Joe. Joe also thinks Taco Bell's good, the best.
Oh yeah, he probably voted for the best Mexican food.
Yeah.
We can say stuff like that since he's not here.
Let me tell you something real quick. I called you several times this week or last week, right?
You called me once on Sunday when I was in church.
Okay, maybe that was it. I thought there was another time, but
And
yeah, yeah,
I called you back and I left you a voicemail.
you did. You're right, and I couldn't return it.
Mhm.
So my
So
question
anyway,
to you was going to be: let me tell y'all something. There is this Mexican joint in town that I like to frequent. Okay, I
the
like to.
sushi and tacos place. Where you go?
No, I love the
Bamba.
sushi from there, La Bamba. Yes, I love to get my sushi from there, and I'll get it there all the time. But this place I like to go. It's close and it's semi-Mexican food. The point is, I enjoy it. I'm fine with it. It's acceptable. It's good price, good food.
Yeah.
So anyway, I realized after my last trip there, something just clicked, and I thought, okay, there's a bunch of Mexicans who staff the place, right? Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
But I noticed I was like, I always feel like they're looking at me. And so I just started connecting eyes with them just to see. And I realized this Sunday, which is why I called you, Sandy, I was like, they all just I don't know if I can't speak for anyone else, but they all just seem to be looking out the window of the seats that I sit in, no matter where I sit. And they're always looking out the window. And Sandy, they'll just be like,
You'd be like, what?
I'm like, yes, or and I'll be like, can I get a refill? They're not even paying attention to me. They're literally looking outside, and I'm always, it's always, and I'll be out there, and there'll be multiple of them. They're just standing there. They start grouping together, and then they're all just like,
maybe there's something going on, and you're too busy staring at them, trying to figure out what they're looking at, and they're like watching a fight or something.
maybe, but I'm always looking at the same window, and I'm like, I don't see anything exciting or boring either. I just see the sky and the cars out there. And there'll be a restaurant full of people that need to be taken care of. And they're just standing there looking in the mirror. And I'm like, what? And then when they snap out of it, they all disperse and get back to whatever. But they'll come back and go looking out the window again. And
that's a strange phenomenon.
It's really strange.
Speaking of strange phenomenon, I shared your lightning video to one of my friends, because apparently we had a storm here that was similar to yours, where the lightning was just going crazy.
Did you get video of it, or did someone get video of it?
I didn't get video of it. I don't know if she got video of it. She took it down. She's like, she didn't want her FBI agent to be calling her.
Did she look at it and say it was similar?
Yes. She was like, Sandy, that was exactly what was happening here. So she went down like a conspiracy theory hole about manipulation of
she found Harpa, didn't she?
I don't know what she found.
Ask her when you see her next, say, did you wait, is it Harpa? 10, if you're still in here, is it Harpa? I can't remember.
You make them go into the twilight zone.
No, Mom.
I bet they're trying to figure out if you're Raza. Like, is he gringo or is he Raza? I bet that's what they're trying to do.
Maybe that's it. And every time I turn to look, their eyes just dart to the thing real fast, to the window.
Yeah, so then they act like they're watching something. Okay, so I have a Adrian said, what's up?
Yeah, Adrian, is it why am I so forgetful tonight?
Is it LARPers?
Oh.
Is
the weather manipulation that the government does, is that called HARPA or HARP? Let me know. Remind me of that. I can't remember right now. I think it is.
Yeah, and don't worry. The CIA, the FBI is not watching this podcast, so you can let us know.
BBD, Boys to Men, West Coast Family.
Oh, what did they say? BBDs? I don't know. Anyway, I have a segment that I want to introduce. Okay, it's called the No Mames segment.
No Mames. I thought it was
No Mames. Oh,
Mames
Adrian
News.
says, I believe it is.
Okay, yeah. HARPA, that's what it is. It's an array of these antenna over in Alaska that they can send to do storms in geographical regions. They can cause earthquakes. They can cause tsunamis. It's crazy.
They can cause Hawaiian stuff.
They can cause millionaires to take care of their homes in Hawaii.
Yeah, and then go on there and commit to 10 million with your money.
Commit my money.
Yeah.
No Mama's News.
No, back to No Mama's News. I'm always scrolling for content, and here's the one.
Yes,
ladies, when and how do you introduce tooting into a new relationship? I feel like this is a question we all have.
I can't answer that. So everyone listen, so Sandy's saying, when do you allow for farting to happen in the relationship?
Let me just tell you this.
Okay, tell us.
Go ahead and do it early on. That way he'll leave your ass pendeja. You nasty. That seriously is like the worst question ever. Like, never introduce it. Never.
Yeah.
You just don't. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a little secret about me and Eric. Okay.
Let me tell you something.
I just don't.
Come on,
we've been married
Sandy. Y'all been
18 years.
For like 6, 11 years.
We've been together for 19 years, married for 18.
Uh-huh. Never?
But the one time that it happened, I cried and I left the room.
Shut up.
I'm serious. Like that you just don't do that.
Excuse me. Why?
I don't know. I'm just not.
There was a show I
Maybe when
watched.
I'm 80 and don't have teeth, maybe I won't give a damn. But right now, I got teeth and I'm not 80.
I was watching a show where this was one of the subplots of the story. It was called The Good Doctor. And this is exactly what they were talking about. They were like, they were telling her, and I hate these shows sometimes when they do that. They're like, your relationship's doomed because you won't fart in front of him.
No, no. I think it's why it has lasted longer. Anita said, "Oh, I'm gonna love this segment." Hashtag no mamas. Adrian says never.
Wait,
I
so
agree,
10,
Adrian.
you never, or you're saying your girl should never do it in front of you? I think it's kind of, if it's you, I think that's okay, but I think if you're saying she can't do it, why? Has she never done it in front?
Because
Is
it's
he
not.
Eric? Oh
Because
my
it's not
gosh.
ladylike. I don't know. Look,
This
Anita says
definitely belongs in No Mama's News. That
you
much I can tell
don't
you.
excuse yourself and go let it rip in the bathroom. I'm with you, Sandy. Never.
What? I don't believe that.
Look at Anita. She says just let it cut, fart away.
That's what I'm saying. Let it go.
And then Adrian says
Either.
either. He said to each their own, though. I'm just
So you and
not a
Mrs.
fan.
10 have never farted in front of each other. Is that what I'm understanding, 10?
I mean, okay, like for us, it's not that it's never, but it's not something that we go around having a contest either. Like,
Sure.
I know some people that are, one of them
Cochinos
in
and
particular,
cochinas.
she's like, she don't give a damn.
I feel
And
like that's my kids.
no, no. Like Cade to this day, he's
Uh-huh.
17 and he's never
Never
heard me.
ever?
Mm-mm. Nope. And you can ask him. He's in his room right now.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. To me, it's just weird. It's to me.
But anyway, in no
Okay.
mama's news,
Okay.
just
No.
if you want to end your relationship too, that's all I gotta say about
Oh my
that.
gosh. Let's not go that deep.
It's that deep. It really
All
does.
right. Let's go on to the next one. Do you have another one?
My next, yes, no
Okay.
mamas. Typing, I don't own the rights to this,
Oh my gosh.
does nothing. No
Oh,
mamas,
Sandy,
okay?
thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying something. I always forget this when we go, or most of the times. I'm so happy you say this. Oh, gosh. It annoys me to no freaking end to see these.
But
Oh,
let me just tell you, what made it even more no mames, this
what?
girl posted a video of her own ultrasound. And
Okay.
she put, I do not own the rights to this. And I'm like, should I delete this train wreck off my Facebook? But then
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
you know what? She's got good content. She's staying on.
Let me just tell y'all a little story here, okay? You ready to this? Come here, come here. Let me tell you. All right. Can you hear me?
Let me tell you something.
I want to make sure you guys in the back can hear me very well. Not several, more than 10 years ago now. Many years ago, these kids thought it'd be a great idea to conduct a social experiment. Okay? They thought, let's show the world how gullible normal average Americans can be.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they did was they started a rumor that was some variation of what we're talking about. So essentially they said you would have to post up on Facebook specifically, not to give them permission for whatever, fill in the blank,
To
not
keep
to
your
use
pictures, to charge me $4.99.
everything.
It's
All those things
endless.
you hear that just sound ludicrous, it's because they're ludicrous. And so they said, let's put this out there and let's see how many people pick it up without researching it and just automatically do it. And it caught like wildfire. And so here we are 12 years later.
12, 13 years later.
People are still still perpetuating this absolute lie. And not only are they perpetuating the lie, they're feeding the goal of the experiment, which is a horrible experiment. Let's it's horrible. Like I get gullible people, but come on, man. There's a point when it becomes cruel. So these things are not real, people. You do not need to post on Facebook or anywhere else. I do not give permission to Facebook. Let me tell you what. You think Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all these other things are free? There's a little thing called terms of service. If you were to read
Mm-hmm.
those terms of service, you would understand that any app or program that you use that you think is free, you've already given them permission to use your pictures, your info, all the data that's associated with you. There's no such
Everything that
thing
they
as free.
collect.
Yes,
And
it's
there's no
all
such thing
free.
as anonymous.
No.
There's no such thing as oh shit, I can't remember. Anyway, there's no
But
such
what
thing as
Sandy said, yes.
that. Yeah.
So if you want to post something like that up, you need to delete. And I don't mean just don't log into Facebook anymore. You need to actually delete your account, erase everything, and then
But here's the
deactivate
deal.
your
They've
account.
already got access to the shit anyway. So it doesn't matter
Mhm.
if you delete it or not.
But that's what I'm saying is if you're going to post that up, that's what you would have to do to even get remotely close to something like that. So please stop falling for it. No
So please, no
mames.
mames. No mames. We don't have time.
Oh, that was a
We don't have
good one,
time.
Sandy. Thank you. I'm so
You
glad
are
you. Thank you for
very
your public
welcome.
service. Thank you for your
I'm just
public service.
trying my
Yes.
best.
Yes.
And then I've got one more
Okay.
no mames. But it's also almost like it's a relationship thing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
We're
my
experts in
girl,
relationships. Let's go.
we really
Yes.
are. My girlfriend is mad at me because I'm going to Miami this weekend to celebrate a friend's birthday. So this
Okay.
morning, as we're discussing it, she got upset and I said, I'm still going. Afterwards, she attempted to try and throw a toaster at me. I don't know what to do at this point.
Take the toaster and go to
At,
Miami.
at this point, you get the F out of this relationship.
I mean,
No mames.
no
I mean,
mames. How
they
do
throw a
you
toaster at you.
right?
It
Like they
were
threw a
you in the
tantrum at you.
bathtub?
That's
Were
one thing,
you
and
in
you'd be
the
like,
bathtub when they threw the toaster at you?
because they were just gearing that arm up for when you are.
Yeah.
They were just waiting for you when you get in that shower next time. They're gonna stock up the drain to make sure there's plenty of water coming up.
Yeah.
See you, sucker.
Like seriously, these people just they kill me sometimes.
So let's take this a little bit further, okay?
Okay.
I
I'm with you.
see these relationship posts on Reddit, right? It's no secret. I like to go to Reddit. I like to read the chismo over there.
It's
I
our
like to,
it's our guilty
it's
pleasure.
it is a
It really is.
guilty. I love reading about other people's drama.
I don't like drama
I don't,
personally in my life,
and
but
that's why I like to read it.
I love other people's drama.
It's over there, right? It's over there, and I can freely judge them without any whatever. I get so like someone will have a catchy phrase, headline or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get in there, and then as soon as I start seeing about, am I the jerk for da da da, and it'll just be something dumb. I'm like, why are you on Reddit asking this? Like, you really just need to go talk to, like, this is a simple one, right? Like this one to me would be one of the simple ones. Is like, why are you coming on Reddit asking for advice here, kid? Like, just go talk to your boyfriend, let him know how he feels, and just be prepared that it's not going to change his action. Like, he's committed to that. You just.
And why would you be upset about a trip? I mean, if you can't trust him, then don't be with him. And if you feel like you have to throw a toaster at him, don't be with him.
Mm-hmm. But then I get mad whenever the person, like, they're telling the story and they're the guy, and they're like, "Should I stay with her still?" And it's like, what's wrong with you, man? What are you asking? It's like, should you stay with her? Are you waiting for the piano to drop on your head next? Is that what it's going to take?
Because all of this, it just escalates. It really does.
It does. But yeah. Anyway,
Anita
yes.
says, no, mamas, Facebook doesn't care what you post and they love hackers. LOL. I just thought I'd throw that last part in there. They do.
Sorry, Anita.
Because we tried so hard to get Anita's
Yeah.
Facebook recovered, but
Facebook doesn't
Facebook
listen
didn't
to
care.
us either. We were going out there. What's up, Jams?
Jams, thanks for joining us.
10's in the comments too, Jam, or at least he was a minute ago. I think he still is. If he
These
is,
are
say hi, 10.
YouTubes.
I got the YouTubers that are here hanging out. So I was waiting for you guys to get here so I could show off some comic books. I have some other topics too, but oh sweet. Okay, so let's comic book time. All right, so
let's do this.
Yes. All right. So I've got a few tonight because Joe's not here, so I can fill up the gap. And I got some friends here who do like comic books and appreciate it, right? So I'm going to start off with this one. I really like
let me
this.
See what this is. I like to watch Charlotte Doper because of the insane, stupid shit people do.
I don't know what that is.
Joanne said nappy time. We're going to Google this because we have no idea what it is.
Yeah, we'll wake you up here in a second.
All right, back to you.
So this is a reprint. They call these facsimiles. This isn't an original, but if I had an original, it'd be like lots and lots of money. So anyway, they reprint these. I like it because I like to just look at it. This is the first time that these mutants have come together in the comic books. And so it's just cool to have the story reprinted. So I like it. It's a pretty thick. I don't know.
When was it first printed? Did you have
what
like
was
a year?
It, Jams? I think I was going to say 75.
Oh, Jam says he has no idea what comics are.
Mm-hmm. He is trying to clean up his room for you, Sandy, because he's going to do his room video, and you can see all. Oh, I showed you some of the video, didn't I? Or no?
No.
I need to send it to you. That's what I was calling you about.
Look, don't clean on my behalf. I just want to see. But
he's got like huge statues and little statues, and they're all awesome. Anyway. So, all right, I just have to show off a Spawn. Spawn's one of my favorites. So next to Superman, which is weird. I love Superman because he's the Boy Scout, but then I'm a huge Spawn fan because he's not.
Okay, so that whatever he's engulfed in is almost like a skull.
Is it really?
To me.
Okay. Sometimes I can't see all the art that they put in there, but I like it.
Jam says he's fixing it up and organizing.
Okay, see, I don't know why he's saying you got. So when we go on to his show, and 10 will back me up on that. Like he does this thing, he loves to show off. Sandy, he'll be like, "Oh, y'all think that's cool? Come here, let me show you this." And then he'll be like, "Bam! Here's his office." Or no. He'll stand at the top of the stairs and he'll be like, "Watch this." He'll be like, "Fortress of Solitude, lights on," and then the whole thing lights up.
No way.
Yes, and then
that's awesome,
Sandy. It is really cool. It is cool, and then he goes on and he'll show you everything. But
you have to send me a link, and I'll have to hop in and watch one of those shows.
Yeah.
So Jan says I like Spawn not as much as Superman, and Adrian says Spawn and Batman.
Yeah. Adrian's been posting. I have to show you on Instagram. He posts stuff to me in Jams, and he's like to jab at the Superman fans, and I'm like, he needs to be on No Mama's News. I'm gonna do that next week for him. All right, this one's cool. So this is a Ghost Rider comic, but Marvel did this thing where they called the Hellfire Gala, and so they took all their comic book characters and all the comic books, and they dressed them up or put them on covers that looked like they were Vogue, and they're wearing these elegant dresses and dapper suits and all this stuff. Anyway, I'll show more of those because I think those are cool to highlight some of them. But this one is an interesting one because it's Ghost Rider. He's a spirit of vengeance with a flaming skull. But look at, I don't know if you can tell, but they kind of made him pretty dapper here too. Even giving him shades. I hate that they glare so bad, but look at his suit. Anyway, I like that. So I'm a big Ghost Rider fan.
Hey, real quick, my ear side, can you hear me okay? Is there a back or anything?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
No. So just let me know when you can start hearing. I don't know why I'm saying anything. She can't hear me.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out of my things, but it's just in my earbud side.
Oh, okay. All right.
Joanne says, Jamie, what incarnation are you going to do with your collection?
That's a good question. So I am going to sell some of it because I need to sell it so I can make money for my hobby, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna. That's part of it.
To spend money to make money.
That's part of it. The other part is, I do plan on leaving it to the girls so that later on they'll have, they'd sell it. Maybe it helps them put a down payment for a house or help them
Like
with
that
some
magic
business
card guy.
or adopt a child from the Ukraine.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, y'all don't. Anyway, he had if Magic the Gathering is anything to you, he had a Black Lotus, which sells for about 40,000, and he used that one single Magic card to finance his adoption of his young daughter, from the Ukraine. And in the process of that, they ended up finding out they were pregnant. Talk about.
Give my card back, not really. Cool cover, but not as cool as Superman.
Not as cool as Superman.
Agree.
And yes, so I pull out Superman most of the time, but I was like, I'm gonna do something different. But I was looking through. I won't show them all, but I was looking through.
Thank you, Anita.
Some comics last night. I was like, I wonder what I have over here because I haven't seen them in years.
Joanne said, to feed your addiction. Yes. Are you sure the girls will want it?
Well, it won't be for them to have and to keep. The goal will be is they'll be able to sell it off to someone like me who would pay top dollar for those and then do what they want with them. I mean, the money. You know what I mean? The girls would take the money and.
So it's basically like his gold bullion to the girls.
Yeah. Basically. So anyway, these aren't too important to too many folks, but these I love. This was an artist. This artist, it took like a whole year, maybe 2 years, I think, 2 years, for him to release 9 comics. And we were like, I remember when these were coming out back in the late 90s, and we were like, man, why is it taking months to get one issue out? No. These are called Battle Chasers.
That looks like Superman.
What?
Look at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does. I see it. Yeah.
It looks like Superman.
It's got his little red scarf there and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'll have to show you some of those issues, Sandy, where they took Superman or the Justice League and they put him like in Game of Thrones time. Mm-hmm. And so they're dressed like Batman's a knight and Superman's like a prince.
I don't know what Game of Thrones is. Sorry.
Think of Sword in the Stone era. Knights, King Arthur. There you go. Knights. That's what it is. So anyway.
My Jam says my collection would be my kids' inheritance.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So anyway, those are a few of the comics. I have some. Sandy. What? I cannot wait. So Jams has some comics of mine that when they get in, I cannot wait to show you. Like, holy cow. These look. I can't tell you yet because I want the build up to last. But when they get in, they're going to be beyond like it. When I show you all of them together, okay. You're going to flip your lid. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
Okay. So Janae says all collectors are basically shopaholics. We buy and sell so we can go buy more.
That's true. Oh, Janae, put that word in the chat real quick. This was a new word I've never heard or knew of, but Janae, she sells on Whatnot. And so Jams 10, y'all should go follow her. Her store name is Auletto. I'm going to let you spell it in the comments, Janae. But put that word in. So she sells these papers. She sells old letters. Like we're talking old letters, okay? Not like, I mean, they're cool. Like 30s and 40s. And I don't know, you can say more, Janae, but people have written letters and then they just either get lost or, whatever the case. Oh, no. She says
like estate sale, like somebody sells them in like an estate sale.
The post office sells these, I think she said. So either the post office or maybe an estate sale, but people have collections of old letters that they just have. And I so want, and I need to get some, Janae, but I want to buy some and I want to read them on the show to see what people.
Oh, that would be cool.
Right? Wouldn't it be? And so, yeah, these are like 1920s, 30s, and 40s, and just random letters from random people back in the day. And she sells these on Whatnot. Is that what they are?
How interesting. I've never heard of that.
It's fascinating as heck, Sandy. So she does that, but then she does something else where she sells, oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher this so bad. It's like a package of random paper craft material type stuff of specific colors. So you might get a green packet, but it might have like the green, like a green wrapping paper and green. Oh, Janae, we're gonna have to have you on just to explain it more. I am butchering it, but Sandy, I swear when you hear it, it's just fascinating to be like, what is this? So put
the letters is cool. That's like intriguing because like there for a minute on TikTok, there was a guy that had like found a diary, and it was like a super old diary. So like his post was reading a diary entry every day, and it was like fascinating just because.
Ephemera. That's what it is. Ephemera. Oh, I cannot remember that.
Ephemera.
Yeah. So when she does, I've seen a couple of her shows, and it's fun to just.
Oh, Janae has a show too.
She has on Whatnot, so she sells on Whatnot, and she just started. So, and Janae, type out your show's name so that people who have Whatnot can go subscribe to you. Like I know Jams and Adrian.
I've never even heard of Whatnot.
That's where we got your friends. You know. I don't want to say because I don't know what the story all was. You remember the little manito? Pretty woman?
Oh, I've already given it to her. The little
okay. Yeah. So I bought that from Whatnot.
Oh.
So imagine if eBay and the shopping network got together and had a baby. That's what Whatnot is.
Can I tell you a random story that I just thought of?
Absolutely. Yeah.
There was this guy who was selling on Facebook Marketplace, started selling his mom's ashes.
Was this what's his name? I could totally see it being him.
No,
I can't remember his name.
This just went viral. This just happened this week. So he got his mom's ashes. He did not have come to find out. All he was saying is like $5 for this little vial, and then another $5 if you want the backstory on why I'm selling it. They tracked him down, and he came on to this TikTok podcast that this guy has, and basically his mother was not a very nice woman, and so abusive physically, verbally, and for closure, he's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with these ashes because they make me uncomfortable. So what he started doing was selling them to get closure, to feel better. And like people were actually buying it. So there's a market for every freaking thing.
It's the rule of 42.
If that lady was evil and you're buying freaking ashes, something's going to pull your feet at night. No mames.
Would y'all buy ashes? Or sell ashes? I couldn't buy or sell them. I would be like, nah, bro. That's okay. No.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
Big time. Yeah, but so Whatnot, it's great. It has a lot of cool things that you can buy from people, and it's so easy just to click buy now, and then it gets the shipping's included, everything, and then you just get it later. And so
look, Chap said no mom.
He and his wife would know though. So
I mean, seriously, when I saw that, I was like, what?
It's gross.
People.
It's evil.
Like I wouldn't even have claimed them. I wouldn't even have claimed the ashes if my mom acted like that.
I'm not even giving you like a homing beacon to come here even. Stay. You keep it. If you just need $5, I'll just give you $5. I don't need any whatever.
I wanted the story. I didn't want the tea. I wanted to know why he was selling it, but I didn't want the.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one in the comments said what the story was eventually. Hopefully we'll find out. Hopefully you'll come back with No Mama's updates from this guy.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll pay the $5 to get the tea. Okay, it'd be worth it.
It would be. It'd be fun for all of us to hear the story.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So if you guys have any if you guys have any No Mama's news, you should post it or put the article or send it to Sandy or I so that we can review it and take a look too. Because I'm sure you guys have No Mama's news. I know y'all do.
Anita has plenty of No Mama's, I'm sure.
Please send it to her. Wait, so how does Anita get in hold of us if she's not on Facebook anymore?
Who? Oh, she's on YouTube. I sent her our link.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, how does she get it? Because she used to send me messages every now and then, and I always found them encouraging or
I'll
funny.
Letto on eBay and whatnot. I also take books apart and create paperbacks for crafting and stuffing and stuff.
Paper packs, that's what it is.
Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have you come on, Janae. We're gonna have you come on. We'll have Jams come on. We'll have
I need to see
Adrian.
okay, I need to find your stuff because my kiddo is the senior this year, and I have started, he doesn't know this, but I bought a bunch of stuff for scrapbooking, and I'm making him basically like a senior year album and
Okay.
everything. I mean, and it's like I started out with like just stuff that's happened in high school and stuff like that. So, and that's kind of what I'm doing. So, yes, I'll definitely look for your crafting
That's
stuff.
exactly what she is about. That is exactly what her stuff would be used for.
Look what this one. Joanne says, I'm digging out ashes from the fireplace and selling them with a great message. Joanne, somebody will buy them.
You know, you can come on the show and talk about it. We'll let you sell it from here.
I buy old books too. I did buy one. I'll have to look for that I bought in the past, and it literally had people's hair throughout it.
Shut up.
Oh my.
You better throw that in the fire and cast it into the flames in the name of Jesus Christ.
What if you're like creating something when you burn it? Because that's exactly what they would want you to do, is burn it.
Then make sure to cast a prayer of no mamas on it so it won't come back or whatever happens.
No mamas up in this house, girl.
No mamas. No mamas. Yeah.
Or boy or whatever. So, okay, so I stay on TikTok basically. Like, so I have to hold incredibly long, but so I stay on TikTok, right? There's this guy that sends whatchamacallit? He has like this, if you're familiar with ghost hunting, they have like this box that ghosts can use to talk to you. This guy has no fear, okay? This guy will basically cuss the ghost out. And he's like, what's up, fool? He's like, say something. He's like, possess this doll. And he's like, I ain't no bitch. I mean, the guy sits there and cusses at this ghost that's in his house, and like stuff flies in his house. No fear. No fear. He is not scared.
You know what wisdom taught me is you ain't got to be scared to get your butt whooped. Just saying. You ain't got to be scared. See Adrian.
Janae says, Sandy would love that with her crime stuff. It was crazy. Just Nick locks of cut random different. What if?
Oh my God.
Janae, hear me out. Janae,
no, Sandy.
Trophy hair from crimes this person committed. Because you know what some serial killers, what they do is they take like underwear and still little things like this. But this person collected hairs. Oh, Adrian says, I'll be on later, dinner with the family. Okay, we'll Adrian, have a good dinner.
Good, yeah. Eat one for us.
They were perfectly cut locks of hair. It was different kinds of hair too. Janae, that's what happened.
No, this is just, this was a beautician, or what are they called, Sandy?
No.
And they were just collecting hair from their clients because they had to turn that in to Vidal Sassoon to graduate the beautician program.
No,
that's what
these are all from a serial killer.
Just drew that story out.
Anita says, I want a TikTok.
Anita, you don't. Stay away from it.
Anita, it is
a time sucker. They call it a dumb scroller. All you're doing is just.
Because I'm just like, oh, let me get on here for 2 seconds. And then an hour later, I'm still in my towel. My hair is dry. And I'm like, don't I have a job or something?
Something. I say don't get it, but then here I am. I send reels to Sandy and Jams all the time of Superman or.
Oh, I know. Jamie just be sending me. But Anita, if you get on there, I'll be sending you stuff too. So
you'll get in the feed.
Because I very carefully curate things for my friends, because I'm like, Jamie would this, but I wouldn't send it to Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything is very specific to everybody and their likings.
Yeah, I'm always sending Sandy all the good food that Mario Lopez is eating on his accounts. I can't believe I actually love watching his shorts, videos, reels, whatever you call them all. And I'm like, man, why was he never this legit on Saved by the Bell? Because, man.
What do you mean? I thought he was pretty
I had
legit.
no idea he was Latino. I thought he was. I think they made him out to be like from Hawaii or something like that on the show, but he's straight up Latino, and I was just like, huh. I thought so, but his story was different. But he's always eating. He's always dancing, all kinds of stuff, and like he represents the Latin culture hugely on his Instagram. And I was just like, I really wish you would have done this on Saved by the Bell, but whatever, it's fine. I enjoy it now.
This couldn't be Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Campana with Mario Lopez. Look, Jams agrees it's very time consuming. Janae says, I know.
I wouldn't say time consuming. Time sucking is what it is. It's just a black hole for time. Jeez. I'm like, I should have gotten off the potty a long time ago.
Okay, so I found this thing that was freaking hilarious. It's called Nicknames for Coworkers.
Oh, what is this? Okay. I'm glad you didn't bring a gender reveal story back because, those get, yeah.
I sent you a gender reveal one, and I thought this was the tamest gender reveal that I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I still got mad at it. I
You
still got mad at it. I was like, take him to court, lock him up, put that baby away because...
You know why I got mad at it?
Why?
Because you were so cheap that you bought that horrible gum to do a gender reveal to where he blew a bubble and it blew into his kid's face. No mames.
That kid was like, no mames, papi.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like,
okay, real quick. I can't blow a bubble. So we can get to our Reddit. Nicknames for coworkers. Kit Kat. Because they're always taking a break. Butter knife. Because they're not the sharpest tool in the box.
Oh my gosh. That's a good one.
Motion light. Only works when someone walks past.
Oh, dang it.
E.T. Always wants to go home. Seaweed.
Why?
Floats around all day and stinks like shit. Lantern.
Why?
Not very bright and has to be carried.
That's messed up. That's so messed
G-spot.
Up. Oh my gosh.
You can never find them.
Oh.
And then the last one, Daisy.
Daisy. Why?
No. Some Daisy in, some Daisy isn't.
Oh my gosh. These are good.
I thought those were cute, right? That was super cute.
I'm gonna ask my coworkers which ones they want to be.
I'm always ET. Not even gonna lie. I'm always ready to go home.
I'm the one. I'm gonna say I can't figure out which one I'd be. I don't know. I work from home. There's something to be said with that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me tell you something real quick, okay? So I was on this platform where I was trying to help someone out, and I'm gonna blast them right now. You know why? Because I'm not going to say their name, and I'm not going to say where the group is or anything else like that. But let me just tell you, they made a post, and I went in and I said something. Oh, they made a post, and I thought, Sandy, everyone, I thought that their post was them beating themselves down. Okay? They beat themselves down, and they were like, sometimes I doubt why I'm doing this, and I know it's to better my life. And then I think, you know what? You guys can do it. I was like, let me fix that sentence for you. I said, I can do it. I was like, that's better. And it wasn't like a mocking thing. And I followed it up with, look, man, it's hard work, but you're doing awesome in here. I've seen you talking. I've seen you trying to really bust butt in here. I'm like, it's not easy, but you're one of the few who are, you've got a goal and you're trying to reach it, man. So, we're here to support you and lift you up, blah, blah, all this stuff. Sandy.
What?
This clown can no madness. He came at me and he says, he typed my name so that it would highlight and alert me. And then he was like, you know what? I don't know what it is, why you think all my posts are wrong. Like you feel like you've got to come and correct me on everything. And in my mind, I'm thinking, so? And he's like, you feel like you got to correct me on everything. And like, where are you at in life that you feel like you can talk to me like this? If you need to say something, you can just talk to me privately and mention it. You don't need to keep doing this. I was mad. I was so mad because this is the second time someone has said this to me. And the first time I let it slide by and I deleted stuff. And I was like, that was an encouraging message too. I was like, I'm serious. Like some people just, they want to be pissy about stuff. They don't want to take, like, it wasn't even anywhere remotely close to like, you're wrong. I literally thought that the guy was being down on himself because a lot of people in this area that I'm at, where I'm talking about,
Mhm.
they get like that because what we're doing is tough work in there. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, you know, just hang in there, just take a breather, get back up, and then, do it again. Give it a day or
Dust
two.
yourself off and try again.
You can try again. So anyway, and I was like, look, bruh, I was just trying to encourage you. You seem like you were down. I was like, but you know what? I said, I can totally understand. I see you saying that my encouragement was not needed for you. I was like, I am, and I went low. No, not low. I went high. I was like, I am so sorry, and I apologize, and I did not mean to correct you on your post. I really haven't even noticed that I've responded to any of your posts, to be honest. I was like,
Mhm.
so my bad. I will take note of this and please forgive me. And I wanted to just jab that in there because I want to see him. People are like, dude, why are you talking like that to him? Why are you
Uh-huh.
saying that to him? Right. And because it pissed me off, Sandy. And then he private messages me and he's like, I don't know if you're going to read this or not, but look, I'm sorry. Let's call it as it is and just move forward and, not whatever. And I didn't listen to him. I didn't pay attention to him after that anymore. But I was pissed because I'm like, man, I'm salty about it. I'm not as salty as I was, but girl, it's like, man, like
Listen,
I'm just trying to help you out. Like, what? Tired of people like getting on me about stuff where it's like, so no mom is like, and I'm just like, I was just trying to be helpful for you, dog. Like, I had one guy who once told me, he was like, don't ever, don't ever respond or comment on any of my videos ever again. I've seen your videos. There's definitely a lot of work you could use yourself.
wow, okay.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here like, well, first off, if you feel like there's some help that I need, why aren't you saying anything? Because I do generally want to be better when it comes to that kind of stuff. Secondly, um, do you not want to be better? And this is an environment for people who want to be better. So let me say that also. Okay, we're trying
But
new things.
so some people just don't do well with constructive criticism.
I know.
I'm those people.
You're those people.
I feel like I think I take it too personal and I overthink on it.
The overthinking, I can't see you doing that because I feel like you're like, I don't got time for that. But I
It
can
just
understand it.
depends. It just depends.
Yeah.
Because
Like in your
then
professional field, like are there other insurance agents that make you feel like that, or where you react to something that they say, or is it just like just random
no, just
people?
like I think with my photography stuff,
What? What do you mean?
yeah. I had one person, and it's only been this one person that said something to me that kind of
Uh-huh.
just was like, I don't know if I appreciate your constructive criticism.
Didn't feel like constructive criticism.
It didn't feel constructive. It almost kind of was like a jab type thing.
Have you seen like Francisco's? He posts sometimes the people that respond to his photography, and they're
Mhm.
ugly too. Is it like that? You get some ugly
I've
criticism.
I've not um I've not what's the word? I haven't opened myself up to that. I'm not
Oh,
brave enough to open myself up to like I have like my few little followers, and I'm comfortable with my few little followers
I
that
like
like
she
my
called us
stuff.
her few little followers.
Yeah. I mean, my 18 people that always hit the like button.
Look, the 18 people that hit the like button I don't think we'd hit the like button if we didn't really like it.
I know, that's how I feel. But then that one person said that, and it just kind of was like,
Yeah, I
hmm.
get that, man. When people are negative, it's like the stuff that I was talking about. Like, it sticks with you a little bit longer than you want it to, and it's hard because you replay it and you're thinking. And look, it's a perfectly natural biological response, right? So humans, is part of our evolutionary process. We want to, at least they say, we want to stay away from things that cause us harm. So the things that make us feel good, we tend not to dwell on it so much because it produces good feelings, good endorphins. I'm all about like how the brain does
Right,
works
right.
and stuff. And so when we hear that, all those feel good emotions release in our brain, and we like it. Those ones that hurt us like that, they cause us to dwell on it because we don't want that to happen again. And so our brain is producing cortisol and all this other stuff and stressors and adrenaline, so it can help us focus on that. And we look at it as the emotional response to it is very negative, but the biological response to it is one that's trying to help us say, take every aspect of that so that when you see it in the future, you can get away from it, or the responses it's going to make you feel. But they're two different things. The brain, you know what I mean? The higher functioning brain part, and then the emotional amygdala stuff. Like even though we think with our frontal cortex or our frontal lobe, it doesn't mean that our emotions go away. So,
Right. So let me
and
get
I
to
say
some of these
screw
comments.
them too, Sandy, because your stuff is beautiful. Like I have Sandy's stuff on my phone, and I struggle
Thank
with
you.
times when I'm like, I'm gonna take the photo off, and I'm like, but I can't. It's so awesome.
So I'm not sure if Joanne is asking you or I this. So do you think you're coming across as a know-it-all?
But I am.
And she said, well, to them.
I'm definitely a know-it-all. I know that much. I definitely am. I don't feel like my heart or my actions are to put people down. I feel like if anything, I'm all about sharing the knowledge. I'm all about raising people up. I'm all about encouraging others. Like when people share victories, I don't feel like I need to turn that spotlight around on me. I don't feel like I need to be like, yeah, that's cute now, whatever. I feel like, yes, lift them up. I can't control how other people feel. And maybe it comes across that way, Joanne. I'm not going to stop being the encourager or the supporter that I am just because of that. But I think I am done with oh, okay, I'm sorry. I think I am done with that though.
Yeah, you need to live by Conor McGregor's motto. I
What's that?
apologize to absolutely no one.
I might have to adopt that. Honestly, I might have to adopt that. Sorry, what was the
And
what did you
Anita just said people can be hateful. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. I definitely don't lose sleep over it. I dwell on things for a little bit,
Mhm.
and then like I'll be working and move on from it, because sometimes I'm like freaking Dory. I'll be forgetting shit, and then it'll like pop back into my head, and I'm like, oh, I should have said this, or I should have said that, and then I go
Yeah,
on. I don't really like dwell on it, but some things, there's some things that do bother me, but I mean, not terrible. Just this
yeah.
one instance that I remembered.
And I feel like I could come back and be like, yeah, I think I was a jerk, or I think I sounded mean, or you know what I mean, ugly or conceited, something like that. I feel like I'm a good, I don't know what you want to call that, of myself, and think, yeah, but I feel bad for saying that, or I feel bad that it came across this way, or something else like that, right? So I feel like I'm good at reading
You
myself
catch
going,
yourself.
yeah. And Dr. Pineapple, she hears it the most, right? She'll know. And I go to her all the time, and I'm always like, yeah, and she'll even say, she'll be like, well, if you are, this is what, this is how you could respond in the future or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I always have a plan afterwards. But this one, I just say, I'm telling you, I'm trying to be cool and encouraging. And I get, if you want to be ugly, that's fine, but I'm not going to own that anymore. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
you can be that way, but don't call me out in it. And that was the other thing. That part got me, right? You're going to call me out to tell me, message you privately and whatever, but you totally didn't do that.
Right.
And so anyway, I had to get that off. I had to get
Okay,
that off.
let's do some Reddit posts.
All right, look at this. Let me tell you this. Here was a weird one that I saw on Reddit. Okay. Now, this was a Christian, and I'm just gonna jab this and move on. There was a Christian one. Okay, this was weird too. Actually, yes. Is your partner not being a virgin an automatic no if they have not had sex since they discovered the Lord's word? The story was the boyfriend or fiance, it's deleted now. I can't even pull it up because it's not on there anymore. The boyfriend or fiance lost his cool because his girlfriend or fiance had sex before they were going to be married, and he just could not handle that. And so
With him or with somebody
she
else?
had partners previously. She had partners previously to
Okay.
not like Polly. She has had experience in partners before,
And he didn't.
and he did too. He did too. But since she committed to God, and since she committed to reading the Bible and going to church and all that kind of stuff, she stopped having any kind of sexual relationship with anyone anymore. Okay. So before she was, after she realized, and she was like, no more.
So before
They dated,
whore and then
basically, right? That's what he was treating her like, because he followed the same thing, but when they were far enough along and she revealed to him that she had partners previously, he lost his cool and was like, yeah, I'm calling this off. This is the kind of stuff when I read. And anyway, go ahead, say it.
Well, my thing is what is it? Because I've seen multiple people. What is it with this whole conversation? If you can't handle the truth, don't ask. If you are not going to be able to handle when somebody tells you, I've slept with 153 people, you shouldn't be asking.
You shouldn't. I agree with you, Sandy. Don't you feel like it's like a level of maturity there? Like just okay.
Because, okay, I have a girlfriend that I absolutely love.
Okay.
And she's had multiple partners. That's her snatch, not mine. Okay. You do you, boo, because I will always love you. And I love her. Love her to death.
Okay.
She dated this moron from Moron Mountain. I mean, he lost his shit when he would think about that she'd been with other guys.
Oh my God.
She could not have, she's always had a really good relationship with her ex-husband. It took a minute. But anyway, couldn't stand that. Pissed him off. And then she had a kid, so it's not like she claimed to be a virgin or anything.
Yeah.
But he was just an idiot. Like, he wanted to be the only one ever. And I'm like, how old are you? And this man is like in his 50s. I mean, old enough to know better. Oh, but then, it gets better. When she didn't want relations, he would bring out a Bible verse and be like, you're supposed to submit to me.
I feel like we were reading the same Reddits. Oh, no, wait. Yours is not a Reddit. Mine was. When you mentioned that just now, I think I recall reading a different Reddit that was similar to this. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And so he would be like, you're supposed to be, I'm like, husband, you're not even married.
What a manipulator.
Like, all you read is that submit to men? Did you read anything of the other
else
around it?
Yes. Like that whole love your wives thing. You're just kind of glossing over that.
Huh? Yeah, because that wasn't
submit to each other
to
as you submit to the Lord. There's that piece too.
Nope.
You're just going to listen to the part about her submitting to you, huh? Yeah.
Nope. Didn't
you submit. She submits to you as you submit to the Lord. That's the rest of the sentence there too. Nope. So are you following God? Are you doing what God's asking you to do? Because you're asking her to do what you're doing. That's why that submission exists, is because she can trust in you following God, knowing that you are going to do the same thing that God would do for you to keep you safe and protected. And
the Bibles on Moron Mountain are different.
Anyway, yeah. I guess so. Man.
But anyway. He
Anyway,
couldn't handle the truth, so don't ask.
don't ask.
And maybe if you got to lie about how many you've been with,
There's just
just
red
think of
flags,
another
right?
number.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not
So
like you can go and count the rings like on a tree.
I'm, there was a comment in the in the Reddit. I don't get this is a Christian marriage subreddit. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
always the worst.
So two things on this one. The guy who was posting this about the couple, he was like, I'm so pissed at my friend because he's the same, but he's created this double standard for her. Like he's been in relation. Anyway, someone later on in the comments, this was creepy as hell. Or I don't know if creepy is the right word. Tell me what you would call it. This person in there said, I find my wife's high number of previous partners sexy. So definitely not a deal breaker for me. LOL.
Like, I love that you're accepting of that, but that's really
More than
weird.
accepting.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I was like, dude, what is wrong with people? What is wrong with you here? Anyway. All right. Okay. Oh, did I go through this one? Do you remember me saying, am I a jerk for refusing to cater my sister's wedding after she ghosted me for 5 years?
No.
Okay.
That doesn't sound familiar.
And when they always put the male and female stuff, always confuses me. So I'm going to I'll read exactly what it says. I, male 33, am a professional chef and own a successful upscale restaurant in my city. My younger sister, who's female and 29, and I used to be best of friends until 5 years back when we had a falling out over a minor issue. She lent a prize book of mine to her friend without asking me, and it came back in a state of disrepair. The disagreement spiraled into a fight, and she cut me off completely, refusing to communicate with me despite my numerous attempts to apologize and fix things. 3 weeks back, out of nowhere, I received a call from her. My joy was short-lived when she quickly got to her point. She was getting married and wanted me to cater her wedding for free.
No
Moreover,
mames,
yes. Moreover, her request was not merely to provide the main course, but also specialized gourmet meal options for her cosmopolitan guest list, a task that involves a lot of work and money. There's some stuff. I was happy. Okay. Anyway, now my parents are upset with me, saying that it's been long and I should have forgiven her. They think I'm being vengeful and using this opportunity to get back at her. But honestly, I'm just deeply hurt. Am I the jerk here, Reddit?
I don't think so. Like, how dare you reach out to me just to use my services? Not even an apology, not even a here's the book that I messed up. No. And then the
But,
fact that the parents go along with this twisted shit, what is wrong with them? And then make him feel bad?
and do you feel like there's a lot of Reddit posts like that? Like when someone who I feel like should be rightfully upset or whatever, and then they're like, but all my friends or my wife even or my parents, they're all saying I'm being the jerk about this. And I'm
Because
like,
so along the same vein, did I tell you the one last week about the bride and groom? So
remind me.
her and her sister have been joyfully planning her wedding.
Yes, I
The
remember
sister
now.
makes six
Go ahead.
figures. Huh?
I remember now, but go ahead.
But it's the same one, right? But so
Yeah, but
then,
tell it because it was good still.
so, kind of in the same vein. So when they basically bombarded her and said, hey, you're going to pay for this wedding, and that you're going to pay for the venue, you're going to pay for the cake and other things. They didn't ask her. They
Yeah.
told her. So when she says, no, you're exploiting me for my money and gets out of there, her parents start calling her and say, how dare you? And then the fiance's mother jumps on the bandwagon and is like, how dare you
Oh my
not pay for their stuff when you clearly make plenty of money?
What in the
And
world? world?
Then she doesn't show up to the wedding because she knows that it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
And then they start texting her again, telling her what a horrible person she is.
Oh my gosh.
She basically has to sell her house and leave because of how horrible these people are. Like showing up at her house, knocking on the door, demanding that she speaks to them.
What is up with this? Like
What is exactly?
people are like weird sometimes.
Like I
I
would
get
never expect anyone to pay for my shit.
mm-mm.
I would never expect anyone from them for me to pay for theirs.
How do you even cross into that, Sandy? Like, how do you go from, I know if I want this fancy soda, I'm gonna have to dish out the $1.50
Is that a
to
lot on
get it.
Olipop?
I don't know. Yeah, how'd you know?
Because Kate drinks those.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're good for your gut health.
Oh, I didn't know that. I saw the flavor and I did see all that. Yeah, actually. I had one that was root beer and I was like, oh, I didn't think that.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be worse than that, and it wasn't. I actually liked it. So I got this one.
Anyway, so
to
sorry
try.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah, like at what point do you cross over from I know I have to pay for this and whatever to this weird dynamic where I'm expecting you to do, like, I've just handed off these responsibilities or something to someone. Like I just, you know what I mean? Like, did I just create an imaginary friend and then you filled that role and now you're gonna take care of everything? It's like what do you like? How do you transition into that?
No,
Like,
so the one you're thinking about is the bridesmaids that make her pay for the dress.
oh my gosh.
That's the one you're thinking of. This one is a completely different one.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the fiance and the bride expect her sister to pay for stuff just because she makes six figures. But I mean, in the same vein, what
Yeah,
gives you the right?
yeah. Like, why are you going to someone else? Like,
If you can't afford, if you cannot, listen to me, if you cannot afford to pay for your own wedding, then freaking elope and quit expecting people to pay for your shit. How dare you? You're just a piece of shit. No mames.
I'm telling
Here's
you.
the entitled ass world. That's what Reddit does. Reddit just pisses me off.
It shows me the entitled people. Here's the thing: is the people who most of the people who post, I feel like the people around them are entitled, and I'm like, you're living in crazy world. And then the young kids who post, I'm like, you're the entitled one.
Yeah,
like, you're the crazy one. Like, what? Why would they not want to be connected with you when you act like? I read this one about a stepmother who's like, should I want to take care? And this was a story that it always shows up on Reddit. The stepmother who doesn't want the husband's son or daughter to go to the vacation with them or have the room in the house.
Those step parents every day of their life. No way.
Swear, Sandy, those drive me
And
nuts.
then like they've been with them and they, have like built them up. And then all of a sudden now that they're married, it's like a different story. Like now I just want our little family to be together.
Yes.
You
cruel and
mother
horrible little
because you know what you did is you led that man or that woman on this entire time. And then you finally got what you wanted. And now you're going to try to get your way by shoving their kid out of the way. No respect. I would get an annulment the minute you said something like that to me.
Immediately. Those people are weird. All right, let me do this one because this one, go ahead and I want to do this one because this one was a juicy one. Okay. Am I the jerk for expecting my daughters to share their grandmother's inheritance 50-50 regardless of the will? All right. I have two daughters that were my late mother-in-law's only grandchildren. So-and-so. She always favored Elise because Elise wanted to follow in her footsteps and be just like her. She spent and I hate when they write because I can't ever tell the pronouns who they're talking about exactly. You know what I mean? So anyway, sorry. She spent so much more time with Elise. So grandma spent so much more time with Elise, teaching Elise grandma's profession and using grandma's connections to get Elise set up in Elise's field. Good God. When grandma went into care, grandma had to disperse her assets to pay for it. Grandma took yet another opportunity to favor Elise by making sure Elise alone got Grandma's tools and a small amount of land that she used to set up the greenhouses. Grandma passed over a year ago. We got a letter in the mail that the trust had been set up about a decade ago. There isn't much, about 30,000. The trust states that it's supposed to be shared equally between her grandchildren and can only be fully dispersed when the youngest is 21. The only two grandchildren are my daughters, Elise and Ray. Ray has just turned 21. We asked about it and got the answer that unfortunately, only Elise is eligible to withdraw any money from this trust. Grandma set up a clause that anyone who had a child before the minimum age to inherit is automatically disqualified. So in other words, if you had a child before the age of 21, you would be disqualified from the trust.
Oh, wow.
In short, if one of the grandchildren has a baby, anyway, you get zero. Ray has a 2-year-old son, and Elise doesn't have kids. So according to the terms, Elise gets 100%. I'm pissed. My wife wants to just let it go and ignore that it never existed, just like the land. I don't. My mother-in-law never treated Ray like a real grandchild. She never spent real time with her or gave her the same opportunities. At the same time, she set this up. Elise had to undergo a hysterectomy. She set this up so that only Ray could fail and she'd have an excuse to get a dig in one last time. I swallowed the land because it was affecting Elise's career, and there were already things to maintain that only Elise cared to, but this is too much. I think Elise is obligated to do the right thing and split this with her sister. Elise thinks we shouldn't fight the will, and my wife is trying to stay neutral.
This one's hard.
Let it marinate. Let it marinate. See, because that was a lot.
That was a lot, and it's super hard because
See why I wanted this one. You see, this is why I wanted this one, because this is, you see, people, this is the stuff that Sandy and I love to get on and be like, oh my gosh, like this one is a complicated, it's interwoven. It's juicy is what we say.
So mom is neutral, dad is pissed, Elise gets everything, Rain gets nothing.
Ray had a child at 19. And because of the trust saying that you had to be 21 first to get access to the money, the caveat being that you have no children before 21. Here's the part, here's a part. She was set up to fail. Like, I don't know that I'm expecting my kids to have children before 21.
No, she was not set up to fail. Those were choices that she made.
But dad feels that that Elise had to have a hysterectomy, so there were never any chance of children for her. So she was automatically going to win the 30,000. I don't.
To me, that's a non-play.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Non-play. But is he the jerk for expecting his daughters to share their grandmother's inheritance 50-50 regardless of anything?
Well, one, it's none of his business because
it's really not, right?
It's not his mom. It was her mom, and mom's remaining neutral on it. I would love to know how Elise feels about it and how Rain feels about it, honestly. I just think maybe Elise, out of the kindness of her own heart, would give some to her sister, but to have to force it.
Right.
Because I feel like you're pitting the girls against each other.
Yes.
You're causing strife where there should not be any strife.
Right. Like the kids might have some issue about it. Like maybe, right?
It might be like maybe just a little here and there bickering, but I think the dad's making it a whole lot worse than it should be.
Like now he's like taking it beyond uncomfortable. I think you're right. Like he's pitted. It's almost like he's pitting the girls against each other. And it's like, why are you damaging this? Like, if you can't see that what you're doing is damaging the family more than what grandma did.
Yeah. I mean, grandma's already done enough with her shit.
Yeah. Now let's talk about that. What's your thought on grandma?
I think grandma was kind of mean. Like grandma should have put attention to both of them. Even if the other one didn't want to follow in her footsteps, she shouldn't have pushed her aside. Grandma should have made the same effort because grandma was picking kids. Grandma also was, in a sense, pitting them against each other, acting the way that she did.
Do you guys out there, do you have a favorite grandchild, or were you the favorite grandchild? Sandy, were you a favorite grandchild?
I was my grandma's favorite.
You were? Okay, let me tell you. I love my grandma to death. I was not either of my grandmother's favorite. One of them, she didn't care about me. She tira la basura, and that's where I go with them. That, so it was just whatever. The other one, she was there and took care of us, right? When my dad left us and everything else. But make no mistake, my younger brother was her favorite. When she got home and we had to unload the truck for all the stuff that she had to take to the flea market or brought back from the flea market every weekend, we had to go do it. Now my little brother, when it came time to pull weeds, I had to go out there and pull the weeds, not my little brother. When it came time to leave for the summer to go hang out with grandma over in Welch, it was my little brother who got to go with her, not us, right?
So let me tell you about my grandma. This is my dad's mom.
Okay.
She was a mess. I mean, love the woman, God rest her soul. She's a mess of a woman.
Joanne, I want to hear you say if you got a favorite or not. I'm just saying. Sorry, Sandy, go ahead.
No, you're good. So my grandmother, partier, big drinker, and everybody's always said, Sandy, you're just like your grandma. Through and through, just like my grandma. So
man, your grandma must have been a hoot to hang out with then. Ooh.
Yeah. So my grandmother got really sick to where they called us and said, she's on her deathbed. Y'all need to come say your goodbyes.
This was just a couple years ago, right?
It's been a while. This was, she had several close calls.
Oh, okay.
My grandma, she was something else. Anyway.
Okay.
So we're on the plane. We're on our way to say goodbye to my grandma. When we land, get a phone call and they said, hey, your grandma's woken up out of her coma. Still a little confused. So we finally make it to the house and I go in there and I hug her and I'm like, hey, grandma, it's me. And she's looking at me. I was like, it's me, Sandy. And she's like, you wish you were Sandy. So anyway, they settle her back down and I'm out, talking with other family members. And the next day they set her up and I go in there and I'm like, hey, grandma. And she's hugging me and she's like, she's like, when did you get here? Why didn't you come say hi? And then I told her the story and she just laughed her butt off. So I could shoot the shit with my grandma.
Yeah.
One time she fell and I'm like, oh shit, grandma's been drinking. And so I went over there and I'm like, grandma, you smell like alcohol. And she's like, oh, I put some on my chest. And I'm like, I think some of it fell in your mouth, grandma. We would go to the store because, in Mexico, you can buy alcohol. And I would buy her alcohol and stuff. So she wouldn't have to charge it on her account. So I would pay for it. But yeah, I was my grandma's favorite. Did she leave me an inheritance? No, she didn't.
You're like knowing that I was her favorite and getting to rub that into anyone who ever gave me any crap.
Totally.
I'll take that. I think, and later in life, you know what? Let me just say, I love that we're talking about grandmas right now because I think it's feel good stuff, right? Even though I wasn't my grandmother's favorite, later in life, I did rub it into her face often, right? And not in a bad way because we did get closer finally, and she did accept me. Not accept me. I don't know what to say. When you get married, things change sometimes, right? Your family starts seeing you a different way or whatever, and I think that's kind of what happened. So the fact that I was with Dr. Pineapples and we were together consistently, and there wasn't like this volatile relationship, if that makes sense.
What they were used to seeing, beatings and
yes, exactly. And so we got to the point where I could mess with her so much, and I loved messing with her when I'd come home. Like, grandma, I'm like, it would be like, you need to stop looking at those boys over there. They're too young for you. I'm like, but you know what? If you fancy one, I'm not gonna say anything. It's okay. We mess around and be like, grandma, you remember that one time when you told me to pull the weeds, and then I had a brother who you didn't make pull the weeds in the hot sun? Yeah, that wasn't fun. So
Right.
it
Just so you
was,
know.
yeah.
Let me read some of these comments
Go
because we
ahead.
gotta go.
Oh, I know.
Anita said, I was my grandma's favorite. When she passed, she left me her house, and aunt and uncles were hateful, mad at me, and they fought me for years regarding the house. It was a
Ugh,
stressful ordeal.
I'm
That's
sorry,
tough.
Anita. Yeah.
That, you know what, because that's another thing too. Death brings out the worst, absolute worst in people, fighting over nothing. Nothing. So
Breaking
my mom's a
families apart.
huge, she always likes her gold jewelry, her necklaces and rings and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I jokingly tell her, I'm like, Mom, just melt that shit down and divide it up into into 5 little bricks. I said that way we won't be fighting for
Yep, yep, yep.
it. So
The,
anyway,
my wife
Joanne
tells me
says,
something similar.
I wasn't anyone's favorite. This is why I don't have a favorite. To answer your question, Jamie, I treat them equal.
You said you treat them equal, but do you have a favorite?
Right.
I just
I
like
was no one's favorite. Grandparents or aunts or uncles. They just said I was too mean. I still am. So let me tell you about my grandma. My
yeah.
grandma was mean. My
Okay.
grandma was mean.
Okay.
And the one that was that so me and her, like my mom would be, if something happened at the house, like when we were down in Mexico, mom was like, and you better not go tell your grandmother. What would I do? Quicker than quick, I'll go over there.
That's exactly what. Yeah, that's exactly what my little brother would do. Anytime, any little thing, even if it wasn't anything I did, I just so he could turn the table or whatever on me. Go tell grandma because yeah.
Like my grandma, we would be, she would cuss anybody out. Like my grandma was fearless. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why everybody's like saying you're just like your grandmother.
Just like your grandma. You're like, I take that as a compliment.
I
Thank you.
do, because I do love to. I'm the reason. I feel like if anything, she's the reason I am how I am. Because like I
Yeah.
said, the lady would party and she like threw the biggest shindigs in that rancho you ever saw.
Man, that's awesome. Um,
They will inherit equal monies.
yeah, it's
Thank you,
that's what I was saying.
Joanne.
Yeah. Um, that's what Dr. Pineapple's, when we made the girls trust, that was kind of the stipulation. And that's why I say even with the comic books and stuff is like everything will be sold
Mine
and
will
then
inherit
split.
equal debts.
You're like, I got a little for you, I got a little for you, and a little
Yeah.
for you. I'm
So
just gonna
I
split
told
it
Kate, I
there.
said, you take a look at this.
You see all
That's
this?
your inheritance.
You don't get
Everything
any
that
of
the
it,
light
but
touches.
everything that it costs to make it, you're gonna get that. Well, awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, Sandy, thanks for coming to hang out tonight, even though I
Yes,
last minute
enjoyed it.
just put it out there and whatnot. And everyone else, thank y'all for coming and hanging
Thank
out
y'all
with
for being
us
in the comments. Thank y'all for stopping in here.
and listening to our
Janae,
wild stories and
Joanne, Sylvia, Anita, Jams.
looking at our comic books. It's the highlight of my week, Joanne. I appreciate a little encouragement.
It's the highlight of his week to come show them to Joanne. It
It's
is.
specifically, Joanne. I love you, okay?
All right, everybody. You guys have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one. Maybe I'll have some art up on my walls,
Oh,
hopefully.
yes. Yes. And some pictures, maybe. Well, I don't know. Never mind. I don't want to put you on that kind of spot. Anyway, we love you
All right.
guys. Y'all come back and see us next week. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Good night. We'll see y'all.